Hi, this is Morar here, and yeah, here to give a breakdown of my track "Dance Where You Wanna Be" with Kitchen Knife. So yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start with the breakfast. This little section over here is just the extended mix, nothing much interesting. We'll get to this when we talk about the drop. But starting with the intro. Oh, my bad. I forgot. My master chain I have on this makes the project extremely laggy, so I'll just turn that off for now, so just I can give better and easier explanations. So in the intro here, I kind of want to keep things very simple because like the drop idea itself is pretty simple. It's not really as energetic. I don't want the break to have so much and then the drop being underwhelming. So even though this section does sound a little empty, I feel like I kind of did that on purpose. But like at the time when I was making this project, because this project is very old. Uh, Me and Kitchen Knife, so basically the way this project came about is so there's a competition I have called NPC, and I was, and if you we started that in uh, it's somewhere around July, but yeah, this is the second. I think this was last year, and yeah, I got Jersey Club as a genre, and yeah, I was up against like this really crack producer, and I was like, crap, what should I do? So I went through the Kashmir pack, maybe just to find some inspiration. Then I found this little ARP, and I was like, huh, that sounds very nice. Let me continue on with that. So I decided I was just putting this as exhaust, put some water in the background, also fill it out a bit, like to give like some kind of atmosphere, and just put some claps just to let people know that Jersey rhythm. I know the track genre is mainly speed house, but the old version of this used to be more Jersey club until Solvana asked me get rid of the Jersey part, just put house drums on it. I'm like, all right, sick. So yeah, we got some crowd noises here. Lay with this exhaust. Let me get rid of it. So yeah, just simple stuff. Nothing really much I can show you here besides like it's just very basic stuff. So I'll just go ahead and skip to the next section. Over here is just a little uplift I have. And that kind of like helps with like sweeping into the next section because here's the thing, like I could just leave it as it is and like do that, but I kind of want to have like this kind of like upbeat riser, which is going like to let people know which something bigger than this is going to happen next. Just that kind of like build the very very small energy. Like it can really help out. Like there's a million reasons I can go into detail why I will put something like this down, but for the main part, it's just to let the people know that something bigger is going to happen, like something bigger. Like you might be looking at me and like, come on, Mora, you didn't. Oh, my thing's auto saving. My bad. You might be looking at me and be like, come on, Mora, stop lying. You just found a right, just put it down there without any reason, and you're like, oh, this sounds good. And let me tell you what, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I just put it down. It felt good, and I was and then like a bit later, I was like, why did it sound good? And then I started thinking about like, huh, it really like helps let people know there's something bigger happening. And like it doesn't get the people as bored as much because like it's kind of like a weird sound effect. Like listen to it. People be like oh, what's happening? But if you just play without it, it's not really interesting. Really isn't. So yeah. Okay, my laptop's looking a bit low here. I'm just gonna plug it in real quick. Just there it is. All right. Okay, back to the music. So over here, so yeah, like compare that without and compare it with this. It sounds much more interesting to listen to. So then after that, I found that off. I went on. Okay, I had like this little section here. I just added a bass and stuff, and like just added this. This is my friend Stripes. He had like a little sample pack sent it to me. There's a little vocal loop in it. I was like, oh, this sounds cool. Let me use it. He's a really cool guy. Makes very good music. Highly check him out. So yeah, and I just got like this little bass thing here. If we just have a quick look. Oh yeah. Also, by the way, this entire project only uses like this is all the plugins within the entire project, and yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. So we got the little bass, house piano, and this little bass, which is actually just ultrasonic bass, and you know what that means? We would never understand the true origin where it comes from. So yeah, so essentially, and then I got like this little bass thing now. It's missing something. Need the vocal. So I scoured through Splice, and usually, here's how my experience goes with scouring vocals on Splice. I keep scouring, I keep listening to all the good vocals, and then I realize it's overused until I found this one. Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for the same things? They could call it lust, but in you I trust. Let's forget about the world, cause you're where I wanna be. Alright, that sounds pretty cool. Let me add it on. Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for the same thing? And it really brings that energy up. Like compared to here, it's such a contrast in energy. It like really gets the crowd going. And this is one piece of advice that I'll give to like people. If you really want your song to have energy, try contrasting like different energies and vibes into like your sections of your song, like the break, the intro, and that. Because this is a very simplistic intro right here, and like this, I legit barely have anything on this section. Like, there's literally nothing else. There's literally just these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements playing at the same time, and then I have this. Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for? And yeah, so on to next, we have this little like build-up section. Now, this I don't have any build-up drums, and I was planning on adding build-up drums to this section, but I was like, let me see how it sounds like without it. And I took it out and I listened to it. I'm like, this still sounds pretty good. Because here's the thing, like, I don't want my generic build to just be like a generic tick 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 tick. Like, and you know, some of the most creative build-ups actually don't use that little tick tick. And I feel, and like, if you manage to create a build-up which doesn't have that, it adds such a huge element into your song. It makes it so much more recognizable and rememberable. And legit, when you create a song, that's kind of like the key elements you want to aim for. Like, make sure like it sticks with the person and they remember it. You know what I mean? I feel like, yeah. So we'll just go over this real quickly. I got this little aim and break here. Let's go to automation. And yeah, so we got a little clap loop going. Got this. And then here's where the start of the show comes in. This little house piano thing here. This is just a there's just a little Serum 2 preset from Musical. Actually, that's the wrong preset. From Musical. The Future Bounce Pack, but I was like, I really want to try adding a house piano to this section. It would be interesting if I could buy Jersey and house piano. I wonder how that would sound like. And since I didn't have Concat because my computer doesn't have enough room, legit, like I only have 4 gigs left on my entire laptop, and yeah, I could really afford it to download Concat and just for the Korg M1. the holy grail of house piano sounds. So I stumbled across this. I'm like, hey, this will do. I processed it pretty heavily. Like, actually, let me go back to the vocal and show you my processing for that.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just
First thing, so.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for the same thing? Is it
So just to go over simply, I got like a little compressor here.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive?
I don't think this is doing anything now that I look back at it. Yeah, because a year ago I just slapped random stuff on and I just tweaked the knobs, and even today I still don't fully understand how a compressor works,
Is it really love? Is it
and
really love?
I don't see anything happening here, so I don't think, I don't think this is actually doing anything. So we'll skip that. So now onto the next plugin, Silk Vocal Stereo. This plugin was on a Black Friday sale by Waves Audio, and I managed to get it for free from that Black Friday sale. And essentially, what it does is kind of like Soothe, but the algorithm is set for vocals. So you can like change it to like male, female, and adjust like the bands here, and even the dynamics, which I tweaked a bit. Oh shoot! So I'll just.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for the same things? They could call it.
As you can hear, it adds so much more air to that vocal. It just makes it sound more professional. Because like if we take it without.
Is it really love? Is it really?
And put it back on.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just?
It sounds more professional. It sounds more upfront. You know what I mean? Like professional. It sounds more upfront, and that's kind of what I want, especially with vocals. And then after that, we just have a simple
Is it really love? Is it?
little distortion just to brighten it a bit. We have OTT. My favorite.
Is it really love?
To compress it a bit, because I know like so many people complain like, oh, OTT phases your stuff. Like, here's the thing, like, I don't really care about that. In the end, you're not gonna have a perfect mix, and you can like mix it however you want. You can mix it down to the minute freaking detail. People still gonna have problems with it, so don't stress too much about your mix. Mainly focus on your idea when it comes to production, because here's the thing. Music is art is subjective. Lots of people are gonna have their own opinions on things. You should do what matters to you. And me, I like the sound that comes from OTT, like the little compressed high end, the multi-band compressed thing, like the sound that comes from it. And some people say it goes out of phase. Like, I don't really care about that. It still sounds good. The mix is still good. Like, yeah. So OTT. Now next, we got a little EQ just to low cut it a bit.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling?
I think I low cut it a bit too much, but as you can see, like the purpose of this is like just a simple low cut like this, because there's a lot of artifacts being produced by the not really artifacts, but there's a lot of stuff being produced by the Camel Crush and OTT in areas where I don't want it. Because here's the thing, especially like with vocal stuff like this, where it's unprocessed and just raw, there's a lot of very, very quiet sounds in the background which are inaudible and sometimes doesn't even show up here on this frequency spectrum or on the meter. But once you process them, that processing, like distortion and compression, that kind of accentuates those frequencies, and then it becomes more visible. Like,
Is it really love?
you
Is
see
it
over
really
here,
love? Or am I just naive?
there's a few spikes over there, and I don't want that, so I kind of just added a low cut.
Is it really love? Is it?
I just added a bit of reverb just for some width.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive?
And a bit of wetness, and there we have another distortion. My sausage fat now.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for the same things? They could call it lust, but
It adds a lot more like harmonics to it. Like, and then yeah, then we have autotune.
Is it really love? Is it really?
And the reason why I added autotune, because like it was like a very upbeat vibe, and I kind of like wanted to have like sort of this vocaloid thing where it's like very auto-tuned, and I kind of, because I feel like that can add like so much to the vibe. Like, it's very futuristic, it's very party-ish, you know what I mean? It's very energetic, so it's very digital. And then we just add another low cut, because from the sausage fan
Is
now,
it really love? Is it?
we talk about more of those frequencies getting accentuated.
Is it really love? Is it really?
and then we just add another reverb on it. This reverb's actually automations for the drop, which we will get to it later. So now let's go back to the house piano. I consolidated it because of CPU, but yeah, processing for this pretty self-explanatory. Just with that. So I kind of. Why did I do this? I think maybe this is for automation. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I think that's why I do that. All right, but next dimension expander. So this helps me make my piano wider. This plugin's free, by the way. You could download it off the expert website, if I believe. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah. You can download it off the expert website, and it gave that nice width because the piano it was too mono for my liking, so I just added that for a bit of width. I just increased the mids a bit here. Add some OTT because OTT. Add some soothe here just to clean it up a bit, and then I added a saturator because with the original mix, I was in a call with a cloak. It is like, hey, Morar, I love listening to your song so much. It's so catchy. And the mix, I don't have a problem with. But there's one thing I have a problem with. It's the piano. It's not thick enough. And then we sat in the call. I was like, hey, I have the project. If you want, we could just sort it out right now. I was like, yeah, sure. And then I did a few things. I increased the mids a bit, if I remember correctly, and I added a saturator. This saturator is free, by the way. Oh shoot, where is it? Here. This saturator is free. I really like it. Yeah. Yeah, the manufacturers for this one had a bit too much fun with this one, but yeah, that's the house piano. I just had a little riser. I like this. And the reason why I kind of added this on top of this, because it definitely helps on with the energy and kind of like has its own rhythm. So like people be like, oh, there's a bit of groove. There's a bit of groove here. Like this is without. And you add this, it kind of puts out the frequency spectrum a bit more, as well as a bit of groove. So like, and then the final element for the build up, this little thing right here. This is a color based sample from my friend Skyfalls. He legit gave it to me for free, and I was like, sick, thanks. I don't make color based, but I'm sure I'll find some way to use it, and yeah, found a way to use it. And then I just add the vocal like this, because like, beep, beep, beep. I'm just playing around the vocal, like the chops, like, oh, what can I do for the build? I don't want to like repeat the vocal all over again. There's already quite a few elements going on, so I was like, what's something that I could like make it very simplistic? I was like, I tried like repeating the beat, and it worked really well. I found a highlight of the drop. So here I've got the kick. This is a future bounce kick. Trust me, it's a good kick. Then little color stabs, and then over here we have like some little
what?
Then we have like a few another future bounce hi-hat sample. It sounds stretched as hell, but then I like kind of played it in context. I'm like, it sounds fine. It adds a pretty interesting texture to it. So over here we got like the little FM bass. Like, and the very first thing you hear when the sidechain, you get that little unwanted click. I decided to leave that because it kind of adds to the transient of the kick, and like it sounded good to me. So obviously, a lot of times you don't want to do this, but to me, since this was such a simplistic part of the song, I decided just to leave it. So yeah. So like, this is a very simple bass. Like, this is the sub and mid bass, and it just goes to show like if you have very simple sounds, like you don't need to like do all the extra work, make a separate sub for it and all that. You really don't. Like sometimes it's just best to stick with it simple. And then this is just like a little color thing, which I kind of like accentuates the rhythm, like keeps people on track, like bum 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 bum. Not the because like it gets interrupted by the kick with like boom, 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 like the boom, boom, boom. It gets interrupted, and I kind of want people like to like, because you're not gonna bob your head to it, just like like, you know what I mean? Like you will bob to this though. Nice and steady. People can follow this thing, and then we got some little like white noise stabs here, and then what's this is just a little thing I kind of like put, which is on the top of here, which kind of like keeps it a bit interesting, you know what I mean? Over here we got like a little laser fill, and then yeah, that's pretty it. I'll play this, and then over here, this is the main part of the thing. So like, oh my bad, this need to turn the filter. Oh wait, one more thing here, the vocal chops.
Is it really love?
So I kind of like was playing around with vocal chops, trying to come up with a melody for it. I play around with the reverb automations because I'm a future bound producer. I'm addicted to reverb automations now. I find myself abusing them a lot, but yeah, I come up with this. I was like, oh, this sounds cool. So now the very best part of the song, this little section right here. So I've got the little fills here. I was like, and I've got the little with that little up, and then it's just standard like house drums over here. Like I want a very tight clap because I kind of don't want to like bleed into the other elements because already like a lot of frequencies being taken up by like the vocal, the little color things going on in the background, like the color stab and stuff like that. Then I just got some higher, you know, like I got some downlifts and stuff like that. Got the going this back in, and yeah, then I just got the house piano with the FM bass and stuff like that, and yeah. Also, I brought the vocal back. Also, I didn't sidechain the vocal here because it's pretty hard to understand what it's saying. So yeah, and quite necessarily, you don't really have to sidechain an element if it doesn't clash with the kick. Because here's the thing, it can change the entire flow of a track. I can name a few examples off the top of my head. Fisher, Take It Off, No Thanks remix. Air by Mike Williams. Yeah, there's a lot more, but I don't remember the names off the top of my head. But yeah, it could sometimes change a whole flow of the track, like that, whether that be perks, vocals, even even like synths. Like you don't, if it doesn't clash with the kick and it has a nice flow to it, like just leave it. Yeah, it can work really well. So yeah, okay. Moving on, so over here, it's like over here, I'm just like this part of the vocal drop sounds good. Let me just put it on loop. That'll set the cloud button banging. And then yeah, so basically just a low up. Over here, just more exhaust and like bring back the what? And then some rises here. The exact same rises from the build up, and then some like laser fills that I told about. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So as you can see over here, I kind of like it is kind of like a transition, but I put it over here. This is kind of like to make it a bit more interesting because I don't want to like for the drums to keep going and then boom back into the break. I kind of want to like have like a little section and then it kind of like transitions into the break just to make it a bit more interesting. You know what I mean? This section is basically copy and paste. And over here is basically all the same elements I just showed you. And then the build up here. So basically it's like beep, beep, beep. It's like pitching up. And then yeah. Just a little build up drums. And then And within the middle of the build up, I have like this little drop hoover just to add a bit more tension and energy to it. And like this impact as well. Like this little transition, like.
Switch.
And then we go to the second drop. Now I put the switch here.
Switch.
Because the flow kind of changes up a bit. And honestly, oh, it's so satisfying when that happens. When I just hear a switch in the song and the flow changes up, but it doesn't sound like a completely different song. I just freaking love that. Because like there's many times when I hear a switch and like the flow is not different whatsoever, or the flow is so different that it sounds like a different song. And I feel like right here, I
Switch.
and yeah, it's not really much here to show. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that's different is just the bass and like the arrangement of the things. Everything I pretty already showed you so far. So yeah, then it's just a repeat, and then just like a my friend we had tag was like I don't know. It sounds a bit good, but it works, you know. But yeah, so let's just extend the outro. So yes, that's pretty much it. This track is very simple, and it just goes to show, like, when making music, it really does not have to be complicated. You don't have to make things complicated for it to be unique and for it to be a banger. You need a good idea. You know, like I say to many people, and I'll say it again, like music production can be as simple as you want it to be or as complicated as you want it to be. Like there's so many ways to go about with things when it comes to here. You know what I mean? Like this expression goes many ways to skin a cat. I don't know where the expression came from, it's very strange, but there's a lot of truth in it. So yeah, essentially this is my upcoming track. Well, I don't know when this is being released after the editors crop it down and stuff like that, but this is my track with Kitchen Knife, That's Where You Want to Be. And yeah, please support it. Yeah, just listen to it, follow me, give me them listens, give me them. I need them listens for that, you know, cha-ching, cha-ching. Okay, I'll stop. But yeah, so yeah, this is my latest release on Solvana Records. That's where we want to be with Kitchen Knife. I hope you learn a thing or two from here, and I'll see you guys next time.